Do you know approximately 328.77 million terabytes of data gets generated every single day right now? Between 2013 and 2023, there was approximately 60 times increase in the data generation. That's about 6,000% increase. And by 2025, we would capture about 185 zettabytes of data every single day. And that's about 50% increase since 2023. And just to put things in perspective, 1 zettabyte is 1 trillion gigabytes. 1 gigabyte, for the most part, you can say is the average size of the movie that you see typically on your day-to-day basis. Now, as you can see, that a whole lot more information is being captured now, and it will only keep on increasing as time progresses. Now, in order to handle and process all of this information, we also need a lot of computational power. So, in 1969, the Apollo guidance computer that was used had a RAM of about 4 KB, 4 kilobyte, and a hard disk of 72 kilobyte, and a processor with a processing speed of 43 kilohertz. So just to compare that with the computational power that you have today, in a typical iPhone, this is iPhone 15 Pro, your RAM is about 8 GB, 8 gigabyte, storage is 512 gigabyte, processing speed is like 4 gigahertz. For each of the three dimensionals, you have increased by at least 1,000 times. So overall, your processing speed has also increased, our ability to capture the data has also increased, and because of which we have a lot more information that is at our disposal. And we can use all of this information to come up with the new actionable insights. And most of the big organizations already know this. And that's why all of these companies that I have mentioned here on the screen and a lot more have their own data processing centers, own data science team, and own teams, which leverages the information that is being generated by these teams. Now, the most important question, how do I get into this action? And more importantly, what are some of the career opportunities out there? Let's take a look at that. All right, so coming back to our original question, how do I get into this industry? Now, currently there are three main types of jobs available in this domain. You could either be a data scientist or a data analyst or a data engineer. Let's take a look at an example to better understand what do these people do on their day-to-day, and more importantly, how much money do they make? So let's say you own a bank and your main business is to give people a personal loan. Now, for the sake of conversation and to make things simple, let's say you have only two departments. The acquisition department, which is focusing on getting the new customers, and the loan servicing department, which is focusing on providing services to the existing customers. Now, being a business owner, you might be interested in asking some of the key questions. These questions could be things like, how many customers did I get last month? Was it more than the number of customers that I got the month before? How am I doing year over year? Am I growing or not? Are my existing customers paying their loan on time? And so on and on. Now, in order to measure these, you might want to come up with some of the KPIs and matrices, such as number of customers acquired in a month, total loan payment in a month, and so on. Now, how do we establish a process to get these insights on a very regular basis? In order to do so, you would have to follow 3 steps. Step 1, collect the relevant data from the designated team and store it in a structured format in some form of a warehouse. Now, this could be your in-house warehouse, or this could be something like Amazon Web Services. Step 2, start generating the insight. As I said earlier, you might want to generate some of the key matrices and KPIs and might want to track it over a period of time. Step 3, third and the last step, you might be interested in doing some of the advanced analysis. Now, let's say I give you $1 million and I say, take care of everything which is marketing. What would you do? You might want to build a model which could help you target the right set of customers with a pinpoint accuracy. Now, you might be thinking at this point in time, now hold on a second. I thought we started the video with the data science, the data engineer, the analysis and whatnot. And what does all of this have to do with the KPIs and whatnot? Now, drum roll, these are the 3 typical job functions of the data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist on a day-to-day basis. So let's take a look at it in a little bit more detail. So let's compare the 3 job roles. First and foremost, the main role. All right. So as for their day-to-day, the data engineer focuses on collecting the required information and store it in a structured format in a data warehouse. All right, now let's compare the 3 positions. Now, as for their day-to-day, data engineer focuses on collecting the relevant information from relevant teams and store it in a structured format in the data warehouse. Data analyst, on the other hand, analyzes these data points and provide the insights to the business partners. Data scientist, on the other hand, uses the advanced statistical tools and techniques to build models, analytical solution, and then provide it to the business. Now, in terms of the key skills, data engineers are supposed to have excellent coding skills. So if that is one of your niches, this is the field for you. And you should have like a good proficiency in your Python, Java, and SQL skills. Data analyst, on the other hand, should have a good proficiency in like data analysis, visualization, storyboarding, finding the key insights, and a good, excellent communication skills. Scientists should have a strong background in the mathematics, stats, and programming. At the end of the day, they will be focusing mainly on building the models, so they should have like a good business understanding as well. Now, in terms of education, data engineers are expected to have bachelor's or a master's in a quant field, and these are things like mathematics, stats, or a computer science. Data analyst is also expected to have very similar education. However, I would say that master's is very much optional for a data analyst. Data engineers, on the other hand, master's is definitely required. Now, in terms of for data scientist, you should have a master's and or PhD as well in some form of a quant field, which could be mathematics, stats, etc. Now comes the last question, which is probably something that we all want to know, which is the salary range. I'll be honest with you, I've been working in this field for little over 15 years. And I must say that this is something that varies a lot. It depends upon numbers of years experience, which organization, which industry are you working on, and which city are you working on. But on an average in the United States, you can say that both data engineer and data scientist make about like 75 to 150K per annum as a starting salary. Data analyst, on the other hand, will make something like a $50 to $100,000 per year. But again, for each one of these fields, these are the starting salaries. As you progress, the paths are very different, and it kind of depends a lot on how do you perform in these fields. So hopefully this gives you a good idea about the differences between the job duties, the salaries, etc. for the data engineer, the analyst, and the scientist. So which one would you like to be? Put your thoughts in the comment section, and while you are at it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a happy learning.